SOLAS Chapter III, Simplified. This chapter is dedicated to life-saving appliances and arrangements to ensure the safety of all persons on board ships. Here are the important features. General Regulations, Part A. Application. Specifies the scope and applicability of the regulations. Exemptions. Lists exemptions for certain types of ships. Definitions. Provides definitions for terms used throughout the chapter. Evaluation, testing, and approval. Outlines the criteria for evaluating, testing, and approving life-saving appliances and arrangements. Production tests. Details the production tests required for life-saving appliances. Requirements for ships and life-saving appliances. Part B. Passenger ships and cargo ships. Specifies the requirements for different types of ships. Personal life-saving appliances. Details the requirements for life jackets, life belts, and immersion suits. Muster list and emergency instructions. Outlines the need for a muster list and emergency instructions. Operating instructions. Specifies the operating instructions for life-saving appliances. Manning of survival craft and supervision. Details the requirements for the manning of survival craft and supervision. Survival craft muster and embarkation arrangements. Specifies the arrangements for mustering and embarking survival craft. Launching stations. Details the requirements for launching stations. Stowage of survival craft. Outlines the stowage requirements for survival craft. Stowage of rescue boats. Specifies the stowage requirements for rescue boats. Stowage of marine evacuation systems. Details the stowage requirements for marine evacuation systems. Survival craft launching and recovery arrangements. Specifies the launching and recovery arrangements for survival craft. Rescue boat embarkation, launching, and recovery arrangements. Details the arrangements for rescue boats. Recovery of persons from the water. Outlines the procedures for recovering persons from the water. Line throwing appliances. Specifies the requirements for line throwing appliances. Emergency training and drills. Details the requirements for emergency training and drills. Operational readiness, maintenance, and inspections. Outlines the requirements for operational readiness, maintenance, and inspections. Additional requirements for passenger ships. Part B. 2. Survival craft and rescue boats. Specifies additional requirements for survival craft and rescue boats on passenger ships. Personal life-saving appliances. Details additional requirements for personal life-saving appliances on passenger ships. Survival craft and rescue boat embarkation arrangements. Specifies additional requirements for embarkation arrangements on passenger ships. Stowage of survival craft. Outlines additional stowage requirements for survival craft on passenger ships. Muster stations. Details the requirements for muster stations on passenger ships. Additional requirements for ro-ro passenger ships. Information on passengers. Outlines the requirements for providing information to passengers. Helicopter landing and pickup areas. Details the requirements for helicopter landing and pickup areas on passenger ships. Decision support system for masters of passenger ships. Specifies the requirements for a decision support system for masters of passenger ships. Drills. Outlines the requirements for conducting drills on passenger ships. Miscellaneous. Part B4. Training manual and onboard training aids. Outlines the requirements for a training manual and onboard training aids. Instructions for onboard maintenance. Specifies the requirements for onboard maintenance instructions. Muster list and emergency instructions. Details the requirements for a muster list and emergency instructions. Alternative design and arrangements. Part C. Alternative design and arrangements. Allows for alternative designs and arrangements, provided they meet the same safety standards as the prescribed requirements. Thank you for watching the video. For more marine topics, please subscribe the CFix channel.